non-missing of last observation we have to take most of the times before the treatment start date. What is the non-missing value available, that will take as a baseline value, and change from baseline nothing but aval minus base, percentage change from equal to aval minus base divided by base into 100 will give the percentage. So this is a scenario. If they are not mentioning the, statistician wants to derive some more other method to derive the baseline, like you can take the average or any other, so we can do that time. Otherwise we can pick the last non-missing record before treatment start date, we can consider as a baseline. Here I am parallelly writing the specification as well as programming. So if it is a chance for me, assign the same specification and programming the same domain, I'm doing the parallel programming as well as specification. If not, if the work is only specification, I'll write the specification, other programmer will do the programmer. Otherwise they provide already specs, so as per the specification I'll write the programming. If any doubts getting while doing the programming, I'll suggest to the specification programmer. Validation means just writing the programming based upon the specification, and we can write the proc compare. If you are getting any mismatches with the primary programmer, just pick the one subject only. I will pick the one subject and check whether that subject has getting the same records for the primary and secondary. If not, I will check with the data, the SGTM, and then I will clearly explain to the programmer, this is what in the SGTM dataset or raw dataset, these are the values populated from my end, and these are the values populated from your end. So what is whoever doing the mistake, so I'll clearly explain to the validator. If the mistake is my end, so I'll update my programmer, otherwise we'll communicate with the primary programmer. So even once I completed my specification, if I get a doubt in the particular variable, I refer the 2 through 3 study. I just not simply copying the specification from other study. First I finish my study according to the SAP and protocol. If I get any variable in the variable derivation doubt only, I refer 2 to 3 study specification regarding that particular variable. So that time I will get clarity about how the variable is deriving in other studies. Based upon this experience, I can write my own the derivation in my study. So not I am that completely copying the specification and variable derivation in from anywhere. So study to study there is a lot of differences. So the same therapeutic area and same related molecule studies I can refer. Otherwise I can approach to my statistician about the variable derivation if I am not confusion state. All safety tables including shift tables, laboratory AE tables, and demographic disposition, all type of safety tables I have experienced. And in come to the figure stage, most of the figures I have done by using the Google sample graphs only. So I pick up the code from the Google sample gallery code and use the proc ggplot, and according to the statistician requirement I can produce the two type of figures. Some related in my present studies we use the proc t-test for getting the p-values of placebo versus our drug. So we'll get the p-values and we represent the p-value into the efficacy tables. Anywhere anywhere the patch of code they are provided in the SAP document. So we don't no need to remember that patch of code, right? It is efficacy related patch code, so we can get it from the statistician. Even though the class statement and the model statement I can remember from the proc mixed and the proc t-test class variable. Yeah. P-values, whether the treatment a significant difference between the previous treatment or like that. If the p-value less than 0.05, there is a significant difference. If it is a greater than, not significant. That type of knowledge I have from my statistician. Footnote anyway they footnote they mentioned which method we are going to get that p-value, or the mean differences, or etc. And as per my knowledge, something categorical data where they are approaching some procedure, and continuous data, if it is a distribution level like normal distribution or non-normal distribution, they will according to the data they will decided the particular procedure. Sometimes what happen, if the proc frequency some method was not valid into that particular data, we go for the another method. So like that the statistician will decide that one, and they will mention anyway in the Mock shell footnote also. Data we can use, and we can use the proc frequency, CMH, and chi-square and exact methods. So 2 by 2 responses we use the chi-square, and 2 by 3 or 3 by 2 responses we can go for the Fisher exact method. If it is a more than 3 variables, we can go for the CMH methods. Tables, and tables, and mentioned the where proc frequency data. Yeah. So like, so ODS, yes, ODS trace, and we can write, and we'll get all the data sets in the log, and ODS output, and we'll pick the data set, and we'll get the name. Is what confusion with the programmers. Even the statistician will suggest which data set we have to pick. Even the proc mixed cases we get more data set. Even we don't know which p-value is the right one to display. So that time definitely I'll approach to if it's a p-value in one data set, I can represent that p-value in the table. But in that cases I don't have that much knowledge which p-value has to pick. So as per some chi-square, some variables I know, but in case of proc mixed, I definitely mail to statistician these data sets I am getting, which value p want to represent, so I can represent. In the SAP, most of the times if it is the raw value don't have any decimal, we are not going to give any decimals for minimum and maximum and n category. Median plus 1 decimal, and mean also plus 1 decimal, and standard deviation will give the plus 2 decimals. So this is the thumb rule. I am telling the thumb rule. So if it is mentioned in a different way, so we can go for the same way, otherwise we can go for this rule. Otherwise we can see the Mock shell, if they mention like xx dot xx, so we can take the reference as for the decimals. Shift tables are nothing but by glance we can know that how the the values were shifted from the baseline to end of the point. For example, if you take a laboratory, how many subjects are shifted from the particular parameter low level to the normal level, or high level to normal, etc. We can see in the shift table how the parameter was affected by the treatment. We can get a conclusion by seeing the shift tables. Yes. So that is mentioned in the footnote. Most of the times what is the value for the particular visit, how many total number of subjects are attended for the particular visit, we can take as a capital N count, and we can small n divided by the total number of present in the particular visit will give the percentage like that. Yeah, here the capital N is the particular visit, how many subjects are attended. So there percentage calculation we are not considering missing value. Even they want to represent, we can add a row in the missing, in the baseline as well as post baseline. Those are missing, we can represent in the missing column. But the total derivation we are not considering the missing values. What are the available values only we can take as a capital N count.